Data released this week shows that the number of white rhinos killed for their horns in South Africa dropped by 10% in 2016. That's only a minor abatement after an unprecedented rise in poaching over the last decade reduced the world's population of white rhinos to just 20,000. South Africa is home to the majority of them, even though the country only banned the trade of rhino horns in 2009. The trade has been illegal internationally for 40 years. The government hoped the ban would, quote, curb the demand for horn and horn products and reduce poaching. It's easy to get on board with that argument. But John Hume, the world's largest rhino rancher and conservationist, disagrees with the trade ban's underlying premise. And in May last year, after a long legal fight, South Africa's Supreme Court sided with Hume. The state of the ban is now in flux.
We do on average between 200 and 300 trimmings a year. We've had some animals that grow up to 10 millimeters in a month. But on average, you can work at about 12 millimeters a month per animal.
This is the horn that you witnessed being cut off there. It's been cut off in the dead part of the keratin, in the non-growing part, like you would cut your nails off. So just like your nails, it's not painful to the animal, but because it's a wild animal, obviously we've got to sedate it in order to do the procedure.
Rhino breeder John Hume and his team have stockpiled nearly 5 tons of rhino horn. He has nearly 1,300 rhinos on his property outside Johannesburg.
This cow is about 18 years. She's pregnant again. She does have a calf with her. I think she's given us 3 or 4 calves in the time that she's been at the project.
The only way to save rhinos, in my opinion, is to breed them and protect them. And in order to pay for the huge cost of protecting, if we are not allowed to get the cost of that protection back from selling the rhino horn, rhinos will go extinct.
1 kilogram of rhino horn, about 2.2 pounds, can fetch up to $65,000 on the black market, higher than gold and cocaine, fueling a surge in rhino poaching. Only 13 rhinos were killed by poachers in South Africa in 2007, whereas 1,054 rhinos were killed in 2016, less than a decade later.
Remember, it takes practice, practice, practice.
In addition to the ban, the South African government is actively funding anti-poaching initiatives.
Go, 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 straight.
Including the training of ranger staff to combat poachers who now use night vision goggles, veterinary tranquilizers, and silencers.
The kind of poacher we are meeting up with, yes, completely different. So the training has completely escalated.
Find cover, find cover!
We've got people out there, thousands upon thousands of man-hours is spent on protecting rhinos.
But these initiatives come at a massive expense that the pro-trade lobby says is unsustainable and counterproductive.
In February 2009, when the moratorium was introduced, we virtually said to the world, go away. We will never sell you another rhino horn. They did go away. They went to Mozambique and did a deal with the poor Mozambican villagers to slaughter our rhinos and supply the East with horn from dead rhinos, instead of what we could have done, go on supplying them with horn from live rhinos.
The horns that Hume has accumulated could garner nearly $300 million with today's estimate, leading some to believe the motivation is financial rather than conservationist. But Hume and the pro-trade lobby say that their legal inventory would stem the demand for illegal poaching, while subsidizing the enormous cost of conservation.
I have real sympathy for the private owners because they are absolutely hemorrhaging cash on security. How on earth do they pay for that?
UK-based Save the Rhino is the world's leading rhino advocacy agency. It's monitoring the ongoing trade ban debate in South Africa.
So if a legal method of raising money disappears, what are the private owners supposed to do? It's not just for commercial reasons. They love their rhinos, absolutely believe John Hume when he says he really cares about his rhinos. He wants a healthy, viable population. But it costs a hell of a lot of money, and somehow they've got to raise that. Selling rhino horn would be one way of covering those costs.
The South African Ministry of Environment denied our request for comment.
We're not winning the war. Why can't we see it? It's staring at us in the face. Every day, rhinos do not pay, and therefore they will not stay.